Tuesday, July 6th. The day Samantha went missing was the day Sarah's life changed forever. The morning sun crept through the gaps in the curtains, sending slivers of light into the darkened room. One beam settled across Sarah's face, illuminating the golden strands of her hair as if trying to gently nudge her awake. She stirred, groaning as a dull ache pulsed through her head, a consequence of the night before. As soon as she opened her eyes, flashes of the party surged through her mind. Laughter, loud music, the burn of cheap liquor down her throat. "Shit!" she mumbled, rubbing her temples as she shifted, only to tumble out of bed with an ungraceful thud. Wrestling a shirt over her head, the lingering scent of booze and sweat clung to her skin, a sharp contrast to the crisp morning air filtering through her open window. A glance at the alarm clock sent a spike of urgency through her. It was already 9:15. She was going to be late. Sarah peeled off her dirty shirt and stumbled toward the bathroom, shoving herself into the shower. The cool water helped wash away the remnants of sleep and regret, but nothing could scrub away the sense of unease creeping into her chest. By the time she was dressed and ready, she barely had time to brush out the knots in her hair before grabbing her bike and pedaling furiously toward the coffee shop. Sammy is going to be pissed, she thought, chewing on her bottom lip. The ride was short but felt longer than usual, her mind swirling with unanswered questions. Samantha never missed their Tuesday morning coffee meetups. Not once. It was their summer tradition, a moment of normalcy in the middle of their chaotic lives. The fact that Sam hadn't even texted back sent an unsettling ripple through Sarah's stomach. As she pulled up to the small stone coffee shop nestled in the heart of the town square, her eyes immediately scanned for Samantha's bike. Nothing. Sarah's chest tightened. This was strange. Sam was never late, and she definitely would have let her know if she wasn't coming. She pulled out her phone and quickly typed out a text. "Where you at?" Stuffing the phone back into her pocket, she exhaled a frustrated sigh and stepped inside. A small bell chimed overhead, announcing her arrival, and a welcome rush of cool air greeted her. The smell of freshly brewed coffee and vanilla filled the space, wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. Behind the counter stood Jillian, her brown hair swept into a single braid draped over her shoulder, attention glued to the phone in her hands. When she glanced up, she grinned. "Hey, Sarah." "Hey, Jillian," Sarah replied, forcing a smile. "You seen Sam yet?" Jillian frowned slightly, slipping her phone into her apron pocket. "Nope, she hasn't been in yet. Running late?" "Guess so." Sarah tried to keep her voice light, but the feeling in her gut told her otherwise. "The usual?" Jillian asked, already turning to start making the drinks. Sarah nodded. "Yeah, and go ahead and get Sam's too. She should be here any minute." Over the hum of the espresso machine, Jillian called back, "Think you could pick up my shift tonight?" Sarah hesitated. This was her one day off, but extra cash wouldn't hurt. "Yeah, I can." Jillian beamed, handing over the 2 vanilla iced lattes. "You're the best. Just know you owe me one." Sarah shot her a teasing glare before taking the drinks and finding a seat by the window. Minutes passed, then 30, then an hour. Sarah stared at her phone, a knot forming in her stomach, still no text from Sam. The ice in Sam's drink had long since melted. Her own cup sat empty, the condensation leaving a ring on the wooden table. Was Sam mad at her? Was this about the party last night? Sarah had begged her to come, but Sam wanted no part of it. Had she pushed too hard? Maybe Sam was upset that she had gone without her. That's a stupid reason to not show up, she thought, shaking her head. Still, the longer the silence stretched on, the harder it was to ignore the nagging sense that something wasn't right. With a sigh, Sarah stood, dumping the untouched coffee into the trash before heading back outside. The morning sun was higher now, casting long shadows along the pavement as she hopped on her bike and pedaled home. Once she arrived, she didn't even bother parking properly, just dropped her bike near the porch and grabbed her car keys. Riding her bike was fine for getting around town, but if she was heading out to Sam's family farm, she'd need her car. The neighborhood was eerily quiet, the rows of nearly identical gray duplexes standing in uniform silence. These government-funded homes were the newest addition to their tiny town, still so new that the grass hadn't fully grown in yet. Sarah walked toward the garage, glancing down the street before pressing the button on her key fob. The mechanical hum of the garage door opening echoed in the stillness, revealing her old black '97 Thunderbird. It wasn't perfect, far from it, but it only had one previous owner, and that made it special. Sliding into the driver's seat, she turned the key in the ignition. The engine roared to life, and immediately the speakers blasted '90s pop music. Sarah groaned. The CD had been stuck in the player since she got the car, a gift from the original owner, whether she wanted it or not. Shifting into reverse, she backed out of the driveway, hit the button on her visor to close the garage door, and took off down the street. As she glanced in the rearview mirror, watching the uniform houses shrink behind her, an uneasy feeling settled deep in her bones. Something was wrong. And she wasn't going to stop until she figured out what.